In an entertainment world that is full of highlights, it is rare for a friendship to remain sincere and survive amid the glitter of popularity and public pressure. However, the story between Jimin and Jungkook of BTS has always been a warm exception in the hearts of fans. Recently, Jimin again made cyberspace tremble when in an interview he accidentally alluded to another side of Jungkook that not many people know about. His simple but meaningful speech made ARMY around the world shed tears and began to see Jungkook not just as an idol, but as a human being with an unusually tender heart. In a seemingly casual segment, Jimin initially talks about the tough times when they were trainees. He recalled how Jungkook, who was very young at the time, often closed himself off and struggled alone. People see him now as strong, confident, and a perfectionist, Jimin said with teary eyes. But few know, behind it all, Jungkook has a very sensitive heart. He cares about everyone, even with the little things that others are not aware of. The statement immediately stole the public's attention. Although Jungkook is known for his charisma and discipline, Jimin portrays him from a completely different side, a more human side. He told how Jungkook often asked the staff how they were doing after a grueling workout, or secretly helped other members without wanting to get praise. He's not the type to say "I'm tired" or "I'm sad." But I know when he's holding back things, Jimin continued. He always wanted to protect others, even when he was hurting himself. Those words echoed across social media platforms. ARMY began resharing old moments where Jungkook seemed silent but attentive, like the moment he silently patted Jimin's crying back backstage, or the moment he embraced the other members in the rain without a second thought. "He doesn't say much," wrote one fan on X, "but all his actions always show who he really is, a big-hearted kid who loves in a quiet way." Interestingly, Jimin also revealed that Jungkook has unique habits that are rarely known to people. He often sends messages in the middle of the night just to make sure his friends are okay. "Sometimes I get a message at 2 in the morning," Jimin said with a chuckle. The message was just, "Hyung, have you eaten? Or are you tired today?" But I know, it's his way of showing affection. Jungkook is not a sweet talker, but he always knows how to make others feel cared for. Many fans later interpreted that Jungkook's softer side was born out of his long life journey. Since the age of 15, she has left home and assumed great responsibilities as a young idol under the harsh pressure of the entertainment industry. At an age when many of his peers are still searching for their identity, Jungkook has learned to hold back tears, endure longing, and become the backbone of the family. No wonder Jimin said that Jungkook's heart, not everyone can understand. Because behind the laughter and smiles that he often shows on the screen is hidden a soul that has learned to come to terms with loneliness and responsibility from the age of a dozen. He used to say, "I don't want anyone to worry because of me. But that's exactly what makes me want to protect him," said Jimin in a soft tone. Sometimes I think, how can such a strong child still remain soft? But that's Jungkook. He had his own way of healing wounds without letting others know he was hurt. The remark made many people realize that Jimin and Jungkook's relationship is not just an ordinary friendship. They grew up together, understood each other without many words, and shared difficult times backstage unseen by the public. In each of their gazes and laughter, there was always a warmth that showed the deep emotional bond between the two figures who had gone through the storm of fame together. When Jimin called Jungkook more than a friend, many in the ARMY believed he meant not in a romantic sense, but in a deep spiritual and emotional sense. A bond built of mutual respect, understanding, and protection for one another. Now, many fans are starting to see Jungkook with a new look. They realize that behind the perfection of the stage and his golden voice, Jungkook is a human being with a loving heart, empathy, and sincerity that not many show to the public. He may rarely express his emotions verbally, but his every action speaks louder than words. Jimin himself closed his statement with a sentence that struck everyone's heart. "If the world knows Jungkook by his achievements, I know him by his silence." The speech seemed to describe the essence of Jungkook's true character, a young man who loves quietly, works wholeheartedly, and continues to take care of those around him even when he himself is fragile. And from there, The world finally understood why Jimin said that Jungkook had a heart that not everyone knew. Because to truly understand Jungkook, one must learn to see not from what he shows, but from what he hides. At the end of the interview, Jimin smiled slightly while staring at the camera. Sometimes, the world just looks at who shines the most on stage. But I always see who secretly makes sure the light stays on. And that's Jungkook. The line caused a moment of silence before fans started flooding social media with thanks to Jimin for showing such a warm and real side of Jungkook. Now, after that recognition, the public increasingly appreciates Jungkook not only as BTS's golden mean, but also as an extraordinary human being with a tender heart and deep sincerity. He was not only a star on stage, but also a light in the lives of those who knew him. And maybe, as Jimin says, the world doesn't yet fully know how beautiful Jungkook's heart is, because only those who are truly close can see the light shining from within. After Jimin's interview was widely circulated, the effect was really felt. Fans began digging through BTS's old video archives, looking for moments where Jungkook showed a soft side that had been hidden. They found snippets of clips where Jungkook gently leads Jimin, who almost fell on stage, or when he secretly covers Taehyung's shoulders with his jacket in the middle of a cold night during filming abroad. It all looks different now, more meaningful, more touching, because now people know every little gesture is born from a heart of love and empathy. Some soldiers even wrote open letters on social media, conveying how moved they were to hear Jimin's confession. All this time, I thought Jungkook was just a perfectionist who wanted everything to be perfect, wrote one fan from Indonesia. But after hearing Jimin's story, I realized he was someone who carried the world without wanting others to know the weight of the burden. Many then likened Jungkook to a calm ocean on the surface, but deep and full of life beneath. A metaphor that feels right to describe the heart of a Jungkook Jeon. In a follow-up interview, a reporter even asked Jimin directly if Jungkook knew about his confession. With a small smile, Jimin replied, "He knows, and he just laughs." He said, "Hyung, why do you say things like that? I just did what I had to." That simple answer just makes a lot of people even more moved. Because for Jungkook, kindness is not something to be announced or boasted about. He did it because it was already a part of him. However, behind it all, Jimin also admits that there is a lonely side in Jungkook that only those who are really close to him can understand. I could see from his eyes that he was tired, but he'll never tell. He chose to be silent, swallow everything himself, said Jimin. I used to say to him, "It's okay if you want to rest, it's okay if you want to cry." But he just smiled. She said, "I'm strong, Hyung, but I know, even people as strong as Jungkook sometimes need a place to lean on." Those words touched many people's hearts. Because, in a world where Jungkook always looks perfect, it is rare to realize that behind the dazzling stage lights, there is a shadow that always accompanies him.